What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Love and Rice podcast with your host, Aunt Ma, and host, Christina Ma. And in today's episode, we're going to be talking about what we want out of our kids or what we expect out of our kids. Because being in the Asian community, a lot of friends a lot of our friends, right? Their parents always said, hey, I want you to be a lawyer. I want you to be a doctor, and things like that. My parents never said those things to me. They never expected me to be that good I guess, in school and expect me to get my master's and things like that. So,
Mm.
what do you expect out of our kids?
This is something that I never really thought about because I think, when we had decided to have our kids, it was more so for us because we wanted to see them grow up and to be able to um, give them a good life and spend time with them. And like now that we're talking about this, I don't know if I expect anything from them. And it could be that maybe because they're so young right now. Because I think what I appreciate most is just being able to spend time with them.
Yeah.
And
Well, how about when they go to school? Are you expecting straight A's?
I don't expect straight A's. I think I'm pretty reasonable when it comes to that. I just expect them to do decent and to actually like put in the work.
I just want to see them try.
Yeah, I want to see them try because even growing up, I felt like my parents did put a lot of pressure on us to do good in school. And of course, they wanted straight A's. They even tried to reward us for straight A's. So like every A that we got, like we would get like a quarter for that.
Oh, you
Yeah.
actually got paid for those things.
Yeah. But even then, like back then, a quarter wasn't too much.
It's enough for the ice cream man.
Yeah. But I guess I wasn't really motivated by that. I think I was more so of like just wanting to do better in school just because that was something I wanted to do. Like
Yeah.
I really liked being good in academics. And I would be that kid. I would remember being in class and then you know how they would pass out like the sheet of paper and then it would have like math. That was one of my favorite subjects. And then it would have like all subtraction problems or all multiplication or addition. And I would always be that kid that's always like racing to try to finish it, like to beat everyone else and to be the first one that finished it.
All right.
Yeah. But I think that was something that I just wanted to do. And I don't want to put the pressure of like, you need to get straight A's. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
I think as long as they can pass. But I don't know if I want them to be getting C's either.
I mean, I was a C student
Oh.
and
okay.
I tried.
Okay.
I think it was just that I didn't have the ability to pay attention very well, no
Mhm.
matter how hard I tried. And so, I think it's up to the parents to understand, does this kid actually have a problem trying to learn or not? But I think in the olden days, your parents, they don't see any of that stuff, right? They're just
Yeah.
like, you're not trying, you're not doing good, but after a while, they're just like, all right, well, this dude's a lost cause.
I think it took them a long time actually because both of my brothers, they didn't go to college or they didn't graduate or get a degree. But I feel like the pressure was more always on the girls for some reason. And I think my parents didn't really talk about it too much with my brothers not going to school, but I felt like they were more lenient about it, which is interesting.
I feel like because the girl in the family, you expect them to do better because you don't want them to rely on a boy,
Okay.
right?
Well,
You want
that
them
makes
to be
sense.
independent.
Yeah.
But for a guy, they can always figure out what to do,
Mm.
and if they choose to do something hard with their life, then that's on them, right? And they can do it. But with the girl, you don't want to see your daughter go through that,
Yeah.
and then you don't want to see her rely on a boy. So I think that's why maybe they're harder on the girls in the family.
Probably. And I think maybe because I was the oldest girl as well. So there was more pressure for me to actually like go to school and get, my bachelor's degree. Yeah, I don't know. I think it really just depends on how the kids are as they're getting older. Because I think even for us, with the kids being so young, we noticed that Leia's really good in school. She's really
Yeah.
smart. And she thrives at school. Like she likes the classroom setting. When she does something, she will not stop until she finishes. Like she's kind of an overachiever. But we've noticed with Enzo that when we try to give him the same type of work, I'll try to print out like worksheets like from a workbook or whatever it is for him. And then he'll look at it and he's kind of not as interested.
Yeah.
So I don't know how he's going to be academically, and I can kind of already see the difference between the two. But I also know that he's a very intelligent kid too, and he learns really well because of how well he memorizes the planets.
Yeah. I mean, I don't expect our kids to get straight A's. I don't expect them to follow in the Asian standards of being doctors, but maybe the this generation of us where we're raising these, these kids for the first time, there's like what I think what I'm trying to say is that we're like first generations, right?
Right.
And we're trying to figure out, do we follow our parents' footsteps or are we teaching this new way? And so for us, it's more of like, I want them to do the best of what they can, but I'm really crossing fingers. Like, if I can take these kids to a really good school where they're meant to invent things,
Yeah.
or like they have STEAM classes, then I really hope Lara Enzo can do that.
Yeah.
If they can be an innovator or whatever it is, but I just want them to really build something from the ground up on their own and have that sense of fulfillment.
Yeah, I think I probably won't go the old-fashioned route and expect my kids to, go the conservative route. But like what I did growing up, right? I went to school, graduated from high school, straight from high school. I kind of tried to work a little bit, but I also went into college. I applied everywhere and I got into school, got my degree. And then I got my degree in human resources. I was there for many years, but at the same time, like I went through that, I experienced it, but it wasn't fulfilling enough. And now like I'm not even putting my degree into use as much as I thought I would be.
So what I learned is that all the passions that we had growing up, our parents probably dabbed in it here and there, but they never really pushed us right into those passions. If I see a passion from one of our kids, like Leia loves painting and being an artist and drawing and coloring, like I want to put 100% into that for her.
Yeah. I mean, I do see that, but I also feel like I want her to try to dip into like a lot of other things too, to see what she can excel in as well.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we just have to see what her hobbies and her passions are for her to do that. Like right now, Enzo is actually really liking basketball, and so if he ends up playing basketball leagues, playing basketball in high school and stuff like that, I know he really loves it. So I would really try and push him towards a basketball field where it's like, do you want to, be what is it called? In sports medicine, you could be you could help tape up LeBron's ankle, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't move them away from it, but there's so many other things you can do within that passion.
Yeah. I think it's good to like expose them to all these different things, because back then we were taught that like trying to get into like performance arts or getting into sports was not a lucrative job. So I feel like just kind of letting them expand their minds and kind of like just dip into everything else kind of will help them to figure out like what they're passionate about.
I think we've really learned when we just started doing YouTube and we would tell our families that, hey, this is what we're doing. And they're like, oh yeah, okay, cool. And they wouldn't think anything of it, or they wouldn't even watch the videos because they had no idea what this world is about. And now, 8 years later, we're doing podcasts.
Yeah.
And it's like, really, you can do anything you want if you like it.
Right.
So, hey, if they chose to do something and that's not even invented yet, I'm all for it.
Yeah, you know what? I'm just thinking about this, but I feel like because I met you in kind of like your situation with school, I think I'm more lenient with like education as well, because, I went the straight route, getting my degree and just working like full time in the corporate world after that. But then like meeting you and then kind of hearing like what your struggles were with school, like you're a very smart person, but you just weren't able to
comprehend school.
Yeah, like academics just wasn't for you in that sense. And you still went to trade school and you found other ways of, getting your career going, and you're still doing that. So if it wasn't for you, I think I would still be like, all right, if I have kids, they have to just graduate high school, get their bachelor's or master's degree, and then just go into the corporate world.
Well, here's the difference. So I went through the struggles of really trying to make a life out of what I could
Mm-hmm.
because I'm only good with my hands, right? And so that was a very hard route, and it still is because right now I have how many different jobs and,
Yeah.
things like that.
But I think it's just because you're a very adventurous person when it comes to different jobs, and you like doing that and you like staying busy.
I don't think so. I think it's because I haven't found that one thing that really
Mm,
makes it for us.
I
And
see.
until there's that one thing, I would quit everything else.
Okay.
That's why I'm kind of dipping my toes everywhere.
Are you getting closer with everything that you're doing?
I think we're still trying new things. Like real
Okay.
estate's new,
Okay.
right?
Do you
And
think that could be something for you?
it could be if we just keep investing.
Yeah.
I think that's that will take us to the next level. Yeah, but who knows? If you don't expect them to, have certain jobs and just do what they want or whatever, like do you expect them to have some kind of money or like what do you expect out of that?
I think I just want them to be happy. Honestly, as like
What if
I
this?
don't
What if
know.
Enzo's like minimum wage working at the movie theaters for the rest of his life, and he's that guy who's just managing a movie theater, and he's happy doing that because he loves movies.
I don't know how I would feel about that, honestly.
You know what I mean? Like that's saying
Yeah.
that he's happy.
Yeah.
So are you gonna be happy for him or like?
No, I mean, I would push harder than that because I feel like they would be capable of doing so much more. So I don't think I would let them settle in that sense.
I think it's more of expanding their mind where it's like,
Right.
what else can you do in the movie world? Well, why don't you try and make a movie with your friends? Here's a camera. What are you going to do with the camera? Like, do you
Yeah.
want to try some acting? Do you want to direct? Do you want to try some videography stuff? There's just so much you can do. So it's like, if you love just being in that one setting, you don't know until you try all these other things too. That's
Right.
around the same realm.
Yeah, so I think it's like kind of taking what they're passionate about and trying to expand their mind even more to it and kind of letting them think outside the box because I want them to be able to like they don't have to have like the most lucrative job out there, but they
Yeah.
have to have something where they can take care of themselves because I would want to teach them to not want to live with us at our house until like when they're in their 30s,
Yeah.
right? And I don't want them to feel like they can depend on us for the rest of their lives.
I just expect them to try.
Yes.
And so if we expand the horizon, I just want them to keep trying.
Yeah.
That's all. Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Drop a comment down below on what other topics you guys want us to talk about. Make sure to follow us on YouTube and all of the podcast platforms, Amazon, Google, Spotify, and just anywhere you listen to podcast platforms. So make sure to check out Love and Rice Podcast. And we'll see you guys next time.